he will significantly reduce taxes on rich people. And he will fund that probably by slashing government spending in some cases, which will often cause a lot of people to lose their jobs. And he will fund it by raising taxes on ordinary working people. Let's assume even if he didn't raise tax on working people, is it a problem if Donald Trump massively slashes taxes on rich people? How does that affect ordinary people's living standards? Okay, I've said this a million times on the channel, but I am going to go through it really clearly for you again, because it is really, really important when you are considering Donald Trump's policy to slash taxes on the rich. When rich people get an enormous amount of money, that is bad for you. That is bad for your living standards. I'll explain why. Money is not a real resource. Okay, money is not food. Money is not housing. Money is a competitive resource. Money is a distributional resource. Money is the resource that we use to determine the allocation of the real resources. If rich people get an enormous amount of money, they will use that money to buy the things you need. They will outcompete you and your children for housing. House prices will go up. Your kids will not be able to afford a house. That means they will rent for longer. That means they will have to borrow money from the rich to buy houses. They will pay more interest. Once the rich have more assets, inequality will be higher, and they will start to use more of the consumption goods. They will use more land. They will use more food. They will use more energy. They will use more goods and services, and you will get less of these things. I know economists don't talk about inequality much. That's the reason why I am a multi-millionaire and most economists are not, because I made my money by understanding that inequality hurts the economy. I opened this channel because I saw at the beginning of COVID that governments were going to give out enormous amounts of money. That money would go to the rich, and that would cause a collapse in your living standards. That has happened. I predicted that in June 2020 because I understand that inequality affects living standards. Donald Trump will oversee a massive cut in the taxes of rich people, and that will make your living standards worse. That is how I know that Donald Trump will fail in the economy, for the same reason I know that Keir Starmer and Labour will fail in the economy. Because both of these governments, both of these leaders, despite in theory sitting on opposite sides of the political spectrum, will oversee a continued increase in inequality, which will lead to a continued decrease in living standards. Just like Obama did, just like David Cameron did, just like Boris Johnson did, just like George Bush did. All of these presidents and prime ministers, be they red or blue, all of your leaders have overseen a rise in inequality, and that is why your living standards are falling, and that is why your kids and your grandkids will be poor. The message that I want to give here is stop worrying about all of this red, blue bullshit. It's red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, and every single time you get poorer and your kids get poorer, and the politicians and the wealthy people who fund them get richer and richer and richer and richer. Stop arguing about the right, left bullshit and start protecting your resources.